The defense were low.
No, we don't. We got 4th and 9.
Put it! Slide left, coach.
Hey, you know what?
Here we go, Big D! Yes, sir. Yeah, but move strong, coach. Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ. They didn't get it, coach. They did not get that. They didn't get it, coach.
If we stop in here, then we go right to the new
Looks like a pro, coach. All right. Hey, coach, looks like another pro formation, pro right.
I didn't know they were going to probably throw the ball in 2nd down. Screen.
He's got him! Ball!
Pick it up.
We got it, coach! We got it! All right, we got it!
Hector's got it.
Touchdown!
Touchdown. No.
Touchdown.
He's got it about the 2-yard line. Get off the field, Antoine. Okay. Okay.
Touchdown.
No, they didn't
Touchdown,
say
fellas.
it. No, yes, they didn't. Okay.
What's that?
Is that Leroy?
Yeah, there's Leroy Collins. Leroy Collins, coach. He's a fullback lead off the left front, coach. It's good.
That was a nice catch by Evans, I'll tell you.
They're all on sides.
That was a nice catch by Evans.
What is it?
Yeah, lock up.
You got it. We're on the ball. It's on the 26th. Okay, coach, you got a slot left. Oh, come on. We gotta have that. Go on the field, coach.
Shut down over.
Too much time.
Let me take a look at that.
Slot left. It's our ball, coach. It's our ball. side.
We're going cut TV from the jump. Maddie is the middle linebacker.
Something to think about there. They are really lazy when you get down the field.
Rush. Comes on his block.
Okay, we have the penalty. I don't know, Coach. It looks like a legal block. Pro right move strong, Coach. Coach, they almost lost. That's not right, Coach. No way, no way, no way, no way.
I'm going to come out stay on the 434 power.
Okay. Oh, shit. He's got it.
Counter, counter, counter.
Okay,
We got to stop.
we got him. We're setting right into it. Good cut. Minus 22, middle of the field, Coach. Okay, they got nothing, Coach. Maybe 1 yard. You're looking at a third and...
Yeah.
That's all. Okay, we got him. Okay, here we go, got him. Now that looks like holding to me, Coach. The ball in the middle of the field, right in the right hand, for sure. Okay, Coach, you got a shot, right?
Wow.
That's Coach, man.
We got him.
Phil's got him.
That's no problem.
This is Putnam, Coach. 56 is Putnam.
You punt. Peter. All right. They're in 4-4. Okay. That's all right. That should be pushing. Come on, Mike. Turn it up.
Got it.
From the beginning, we started out with a 42G outflow, 63 quit 1-3, 2 42G outflows, 62G strong smoke, cover 0, 62G strong 1-3, and another 62G strong 1-3, and another 62G strong 1-3. Big old.
That ball was right there at 2 o'clock. We got trips here. We got trips. That's okay. Run it!
Throw it out.
Who's got it? First up. Okay, you got somebody standing next to that bench playing with? Come on, Joey! No. I want this away from the hard times.
Oh, wow, snap back up. Throw the ball. Interception. Oh, no, my bad.
Close it down. It's okay.
You should have a touchdown. He's 40.
He's coming in seat yet because he's throwing safety.
That's not right, coach. No, that's not left. It's not right. Over. Nice shot, Dave. That was an over right, coach. No, it was. That's a touchdown. I believe we took it out, coach. It was an over right formation, coach. Coach, you know I'm talking about that. Okay, nice kick. Cover it. Okay, coach, they're going to be on the 7. All right. Come on.
Sometime was in the slot. How far off is he? He's right over there. Ask him up right off.
Oh, Terrell Beatty, you missed him.
In the slot. Can we get quick screen or no?
He didn't get it.
He's close, coach.
That was okay.
Oh, we got leads one? No, I want to throw left. Oh, okay. That's okay. We should have done it at throw left to begin with. 22-yard line. Go. With me? We gotta pop one big play. Pass. No. Wing? Pass.
Okay, great coverage, coach. Great coverage. Oh, we're outside, coach. We're out.
They moved, coach. No, they moved, coach.
They moved first.
First down. I'll tell you what happened. The middle linebacker is moving out and blitzing deep. We got to come back to the Zeitzers.
Go, Joe.
Inside. The middle linebacker and the outside linebacker are blitzing B and C. This is going to be it. Get the
DBNO. Come on, fellas.
and cover 2. He's got in there again. First down.
First, coach.
I'll call it Julian. Why do you stay like a Mike out on this side?
Stay in the middle, coach.
Why is he in an east? He should be in the Antoine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right here. Oh, man. Christ is it. It's good. It's good. It's out of bounds, coach. You're probably going to give him about 25, coach. Yes, it is, coach. We got it. Oh, shit.
All right.
Yes, sir. We have 3 timeouts. We have 3 timeouts, Coach Fleischman.
They're up into a press on the Antoine.
Blitz.
Blitz. Passes up to the ball, man.
Oh.
Pro pass. Pro pass is Antoine coming inside. Let me see what that looks like. I'll tell you what that looks like right now.
Blitz up the middle. Come on.
I think we got to make a change at center of left hand.
Wing T, coach. No wing. Oh my God, that was right there! Okay, we got it. It's right on the turn. All right. Strong. Move yourself. Didn't get much, coach. Go rush, coach. All right. One move. All right. Oh, wow. Sorry, I'll make my work out. On 26, okay. Oh, God, that kid can't catch. He's there too, Cody. All right. Oh, shit. Got about 3 yards. Did not get it, coach. Outside. Pass!
Hold on to that little whip.
Good job, son.
Cross down. Nice job, quick flat. Very close.
He was thinking about it.
Okay. Well, that's even better. First down. Oh, no! Take it! What do you mean?
First and 10, 16-yard line. Alfred.
Get that. Get him!
Come, where did you go, sir? We got 5-1 first. Didn't get in, coach. You did not get in. Fourth down.
Hard times, 33 guys.
Watch the fake.
I want that change of fullback and tailback.
No good.
Cut it up, Leroy. 5 yards. Let's go.
Make sure that Rogers is aware of it. I might put him in the next play. Here they come.
Oh yeah, middle line at the delay. Yard line.
Holding.
Okay, that was a holding call. That was massive
Okay, 20 to nothing. S20 if you can come into a 6. And I would like to come to the pass on second down. But I want everyone to stay in there. Send it in. I don't give a shit about the split in rotation. You can send it in.
Jump! Jump!
Catch out.
Block!
Coming up. There's 20! He's got effort! Oh!
What?
Oh, he's starting the first stop. He's got it. He's got it. All right. And he's taking the inside position. Oh, that's why he's open. Okay. All right.
That's mighty close to the first down.
Mark. 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 Mark.
You get guys at football yards. Jim wants to talk to you.
All right. If we do score, he's 19 some field goal after a touchdown and extra point will put us ahead. Oh, he dropped it. Okay.
Hit ball right there.
I mean, we have to take the time with the field goal. Yeah.
Power 8 knows, coach.
Stopped in the backfield.
Trying to get the field goal position.
Come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up.
Moves from... No, didn't get it.
And you just need a field goal. We've got 2 minutes left. Don't go offside. Don't go offside.
Okay, you got it.
He wasn't down! He wasn't... This game's yours.
Okay, it's pretty well. Go right. Pass. Bootleg.
I don't know.
I don't know, Coach. I
I
don't
think we
know.
got the first down. We got the clock running.
We want, Coach.
touchdown.
Game 1 at the Silverdome, and it'll start with the NFL today. Terry and Greg, nice and dry back in the studio, and Leslie and Pat, nice and dry indoors at the Silverdome tomorrow.
I think Leslie and Pat should make the All-Madden team for their work before this game.
Not Pat, Leslie.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Pat will be second team.
First and 10, 14-0. The Redskins lead it. Miller back. Miller may or may not be sacked. Did he get back to the line of scrimmage? Fred Stokes.
See the difference in the defensive philosophies. Shively and the Falcons rush 3. The Hogs, or rather the Swine, are going to bring 4 at Miller. And the fourth guy's going to get him. Fred Stokes stops Miller for about a half-a-yard loss.
Redskin defense outstanding at RFK. Mentioned a while ago they had 3 shutouts here. They started off with a 45-0 pasting of the Lions. Barry Sanders on the opening game of the season. Second down. Pritchard is in motion. Little flip out to Pritchard. Picked it off his shoe tops, incomplete. And it'll be 3rd and 11.
Talking to defensive coordinator Richie Pettibone yesterday about the keys to the game, this is exactly what he wanted to see. He wants to swat Miller's head a few times, or at least have his big guys up front here. Tim Johnson gets in here this time. Although he doesn't sack Miller, he knocks him down and almost took out his left knee.
There's Richie Pettibone. Might be a candidate for one of the multitude of vacancies
He would
in
make
the NFL.
Make a fantastic head coach. All the experience in the world and a fantastic player in his own right.
3rd and 11. Left side, intercepted. Martin Mayhew, 3rd turnover of the first half. He had 3 in regular season. He's got 1 in the playoffs.
3 straight pass plays for the Falcons, and 3 times great pressure by the Redskins defensive line. Watches Miller's back in the pocket, trying to get rid of this ball before the blitz from the outside by A.J. Johnson came in there and hit him low. Here's Johnson. Watch him come on the blitz here. Nobody to pick him up. Pegram's a little bit late, and again the quarterback gets hit, and the insult to that injury is the interception by Mayhew.
Second interception for Chris Miller. 1 picked off by Danny Copeland. 3 Atlanta turnovers. That one by Mayhew. Ricky Irvins, he's nailed behind the line at the 27-yard line.
This is 9 turnovers now in the last 2 games between these two teams. Glanville said that they had their spirit touched a little bit. Well, that soul's getting rocked right now.
The Falcons turned it over 6 times and losing here. Bobby Wilson getting a little medical attention. Rippon knocked away at the 12-yard line. No flag. Intended for Gary Clark. There's what Dan was talking about. 9 Atlanta turnovers in this spot.
6 in the last game, 3 each in each half. So it's 3 now for the Redskins, so they're right on pace.
3rd and 10. Sanders in motion. 3-man Atlanta rush. Into the flat for Ricky Irvins. Nice little shoot step. And he's down to the 16. And that should be enough to move the chain. See where the spot is.
We talk about all the weapons that Rippon has to deal with. In this situation on 3rd down, this is why the Redskins led the NFL in 3rd down conversions, hitting over 50% of their attempts. They have so many guys you got to cover. Falcons went down back in a zone defense and left Ricky Irvins wide open. And he used that ability, that natural running back ability, to get close to this 1st down. And indeed, he picks it up. Here's Irvins right here, and he's just going to go out on a little stop pattern, and there's just nobody there to take him. It's a zone coverage, kind of out of character for the Falcons, but something they felt they had to do to prevent the long bombs, and Irvins burns them.
1st and 10, 7:35 to go. First half of play. That running play again doesn't go. Ricky Irvins, Torrey Epps, number 74, Rick Bryan, and Robert Lyles remains on the ground. So the medical staff of the Atlanta Falcons hustles onto the field. Not going well for Jerry Glanville and the Falcons. 14-0 time has been called to 10 to Robert Lyles.
It was engineered to a higher standard with one of the world's most advanced suspension systems. It is nearly invisible to the wind. When it was built, it became an instant classic. The Accord Coupe from Honda. Everything else is just water under the bridge.
Tell me some of the things you can buy for under $1 at McDonald's.
Holy smokes. Okay, here we go.
Hamburgers are 59 cents, cheeseburgers are 69 cents, and breakfast burritos are 99 cents.
Sausage biscuits for 79 cents. I like to spend my money on where it's reasonable, and that's where I find my good breakfast or lunch, for that matter. Because I'm on a limited income, you know.
How much is a sausage biscuit at McDonald's?
I would say about 79 cents.
How much is that in Swiss francs?
79 cents. We got great deals. The prices are great and the food's great. You can't beat that. Thank you. See you next time.
Colts, Buccaneers, Lions, Cowboys, Seahawks, Rams.
After the teams chose the inspiration for their names, they chose GTE, the telecommunications consultant to the NFL. Imagine what GTE could do for you.
Last weekend, Emmitt Smith turbocharged the Cowboys over the Bears. Now they fight the impelling force of Barry Sanders and the Lions. Go, Feed, go, Sunday.
In their first meeting here, Week 10, the Redskins did not run well, but they have found some yards up the middle today.
Especially with these field conditions and their size advantage. Although Tim Green doesn't want to be called a small defensive lineman at 245 pounds, that's exactly what he is. And the other defensive philosophy change for the Falcons, with only 3 down linemen and playing a lot of loose zones, that has really opened up the middle.
Robert Lyles with assistance. knee injury, being helped to the bench. Michael Reed will come in and take his place.
And the other part about rushing just 3 men is there hasn't been any pressure on Rippon. That's allowed him to get hot, hitting his 5 of his last 6 passes. But one thing about the Falcons, there's no quit in them. They have been very successful coming from behind, especially at their late season rush.
14-0 the score, 7:14 the time remaining, and second down and 10 for the Redskins. Ricky Irvins. Rippon will throw it. Goes right, picked off. There's a flag down, and the pass is lateral back from Jordan to Tim McKyer. Mark Rippon with the tackle. Now check the flag on the near side of the field. Brian Jordan with the interception. Motion call, Washington. Atlanta will keep the football.
Intercepted by illegal motion. There's a flat. 55 on the offense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Well, the zone pays off this time for the Falcons defense as Jordan, number 40, is going to run right out underneath this out pattern. We've seen the Skins be successful throwing twice to Gary Clark on that little hitch. That's a heck of a lateral there by Jordan.
Really?
Now McKyer is looking for Sanders. Can't find him anywhere. He should be looking to try and get extra yardage.
These guys ought to be a rugby team.
He let a quarterback tackle him. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Now they're moving the ball back, saying that he was down by contact probably.
Last 5 possessions, 3 punts and 2 turnovers. Well, so much has been made about the last play in the win down in New Orleans when McKyer intercepted a blind lateral back to Sanders, who then found Joe Fishback. Chris Miller said, yes, we asked him, what were you yelling? He was saying, get on the ground, get on the ground. He said, I included various expletives.
Yeah, you bet he did. I'm sure there's some people that wish they had a gun or something to take one of their legs out to make sure that they wouldn't turn that one over.
Funny about that play, Dan. You talked to football people, and they were aghast, I guess is a good word. But you talk with fans around the country, they loved it.
The NFL has been criticized so much for a no-fun league. Well, the Falcons, they do one thing better than anybody, is they have more fun than any team I've ever seen.
Reason for the delay is they are checking with replay for the spot of the ball. That's what's at issue.
Well, we've gone a quarter and a half, and we haven't heard from anybody in the replay booth. So,
mercifully.
Yeah, this is a pretty good deal for us.
Mark Rippon, who is 6'4" and weighs 235.
He's really going to drill McKyer here, too. He's hunting him out. Now he's got that head down, and he drives him back.
Grade him on the tackle.
100%. Beautiful.
How many did you make?
Tackles or interceptions?
No, tackles.
Too few to mention, buddy.
Mark is explaining it now to Jim Hannafin and Joe Gibbs. 1st and 10, Atlanta. They needed something like that to stop this Washington surge. 1st and 10, Rising in motion left. Intercepted. Picked off by Kurt Gouveia. So much for a momentum shift.
Again, the field comes into play and the zone defense of the Redskins. Watch Miller come back, and he slips. Once he slips, his timing is thrown off, and that allows Gouveia to get back into his coverage and make the interception. Miller 1 out of his last 10 with 3 interceptions. Kicking the ground, you know that's what he's thinking about, throwing his timing off.
1st and 10, Washington, 6:49 remaining in the first half of play. Ernest Biner. Well, coming in, the Falcons, despite their surge at 6 wins out of their last 7 games, 11-point underdogs. They had to play almost error-free football to win here for the first time ever, and what they've done is just the opposite. They've given up 4 times, and a player down for the Redskins at the 28.
This is Jim Lachey, my old teammate in San Diego. Number 79 here, as the Redskins are going to go with their trademark counter trade play for the first time today. Lachey behind McKenzie there, and a low hit there. Got him right around that right knee. Lachey did not play 7 weeks ago against the Falcons because of a knee injury. We hope this one obviously is not serious.
Jim Lachey going back to the Pro Bowl again. And looks like it's going to be okay.
Check out who gets this hit from the left side of the screen. Michael Reed, who's filling in for Robert Lyles. You can see the brace already on Lachey's knee. He has one on both knees, as do many offensive linemen.
Jim Lachey, whose business partner and former teammate at Ohio State, Mike Tomczak, is here in town. Jim was telling us last night that he and Tomczak went out for dinner. People kept talking about the Bears, and Mike said, hey, wait a minute. I now play for the Green Bay Packers. 6.5 to go. 14-0, Redskins up. Rippon, that had a wobble on it. Ed Simmons has checked in at left tackle and taken Jim Lachey's spot, one-time starter at the right side. And kind of modest numbers for Mark Rippon. 3rd down and long coming up. Rain has not subsided. They were expecting an inch or more this afternoon. And the wind is still ripping through the stadium.
We talked about Miller having experience playing in foul weather. Well, so is Mark Rippon playing at the Washington State University up there in Spokane. They can get real nasty up there.
3rd and 7. Rippon looks back to the left side. Finds Gary Clark, who is knocked backwards by Deion Sanders. And it'll be 4th down.
You know, I just moved the entire university 90 miles from to Spokane.
Well, they do play some games at Spokane.
At Joe Albee Stadium. And before I get burned by all my Northwest buddies, I had to retract that one.
Matter of fact, before Mark Rippon got to Washington State, I did a game there in Spokane, California at Washington State. And the wind was clocked that day at 80 miles an hour. I saw a kid kick a 75-yard field goal in pregame warm-ups, and I also saw a kid punt one 40 yards behind his head.
Wow.
Lohmiller, no. And Glanville takes heart from that. Chip Lohmiller is 0 for 2.
And both times it's been out to the right, and Lohmiller is normally a hook kicker where he'll start it out to the right and it'll come back into the left. Not this time.
Might have thought he scored.
In 3 weeks, CBS Sports presents Super Bowl 26.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sports Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
The aerodynamic shape seats 4 comfortably. The advanced VTEC-E engine was designed for both power and economy. The new energy-efficient Civic VX from Honda. If everybody drove one, think of what we could save.
Listen to the trees. They're trying to tell us something about what our polluted air is doing to them and to us. Fortunately, there's an answer. Natural gas. The cleanest burning fossil fuel we have. It can help save the air and everything that lives in it. Listen to the trees, because air pollution is a problem hanging over all of us. Use natural gas and we'll all breathe easier.
Helicopter hovering overhead, given a warrant for the pilot.
Yeah, he ought to make the All-Madden team too.
In this win. First down and 10. Atlanta, despite 4 turnovers, still in the game, but they've got to get something going offensively. Miller with time, goes left. Risen has it. Out of bounds, first down, an 11-yard gain.
Absolutely critical for the Falcons to get at least 3 points going in at halftime. You could say they've dodged a few bullets here. They've dodged cannonballs with 3 interceptions by Miller here in the first half.
How do they get it going, Dan?
Just doing what they normally do. The thing about Chris Miller, he's such a competitor, and in this offense, it allows a quarterback to compete because they've got to throw the ball to be successful. That's the only thing they have in their offense.
First and 10. 5:02 to go, first half. Stunts by the Redskin defense, and Mike Pritchard makes the catch in front of Darrell Green, a gain of 5 yards.
And although it's only 5 yards, it's a completed pass. It builds Chris's confidence, and it gives his team a feeling, hey, we're moving it, boys. It may be only 5 yards, but we are moving.
Well, and you go back to the reaction that we saw of Jerry Glanville on the Low Miller miss, obviously feeling like if they can get something going, they're hanging on by the hair on their chinny chin chin, but they're still in the ball game.
Speaking of hogs and swines, huh?
Right. Rain increases. Wind stays the same. They should put on leather helmets and call this game being played in 1932. Across the middle, wide open, Risen. First down, Atlanta at the 48. Big play for the Falcons. A gain of 16.
I think Lohmiller's miss of that field goal, Vern, deflated the Redskins a little bit. They're not getting the pressure on Miller as they did earlier.
Rick Bryan on the right. John Rady. How can we stop him? First and 10, Atlanta. They trail 14-0 with 3:34 remaining in the first half. Up the middle. Whoa! Wow! Jumpy gathers. Put the forklift on him.
They call him the strongest man on the football team. Let's take a look at him. Number 97 from the left side of the screen. He's going to put out a big left arm, and Pegram is going to stop cold. Straight down on his back.
A couple of weeks ago, we were chatting with Charles Mann, the all-pro tackle, defensive end rather, for the Redskins. He said, don't put the cameras on me, guys. Put him on Jumpy Gathers. He's awesome. Acquired Plan B, New Orleans. Knee problem. Second down and 10. Miller looks deep. Settles short. Intercepted. Picked off by Darrell Green. A flag on the far side of the field. Green gets an assist from the official. And jumps out of bounds. Now we will check the infraction. Chris Miller is having an awful afternoon.
Where this was thrown, it may be against the Redskins.
On the far side of the field, away from the play.
It is.
Well, Wilbur Marshall got face-to-face with Andre Rison. He's not going to try it with Red Casher.
That's Bob Wagner, the umpire, talking to Red.
And here's Red Casher. Wow.
The Falcons like to live on the edge, but they're overdoing it a little bit here in the first half.
Pass interference by the defense. First down.
It's worth the price of admission to hear Red Cashin announce the first down.
There's no doubt, is there?
No.
That first down comes down all the way from Texas.
Bryan to D.C. Bryan, Texas is Red Cashin's hometown. First and 10. What a huge break for the Atlanta Falcons.
Now they have to take advantage of it again with just 2:28 to go in the first half.
Well, Miller's got to find the key here. He's been throwing to the white more than the black. Motion on the right side. Flag is down. Bring this one back. No play. Happened before the snap. And that'll cost the Falcons 5 yards.
And more than that, because the pass was complete. So it appeared to be a 10-yard gain. This is going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Start. Number 75 of the offense before the ball was snapped. 5 yards, still first down.
Chris Hinton, who came along with Andre Rison to the Falcons for Jeff George. Last 9 games, only 6. In this half, 3. 1 wiped out by penalty.
And it's been a combination of things for Miller. Poor footing on one pass attempt, but he's been throwing into a zone coverage by the Redskins that appears to be confusing not only Chris, but his receivers. So many times their patterns are predicated on the reaction of the defense. Right now, they're a little bit out of sync.
1st and 15. Good blocking. Pritchard, screen pass. 3 men in front. Gets by Monty Coleman. Gets by another man and is down at the 33-yard line, a gain of 17.
This is a fantastic call by June Jones, the coordinator for the Falcons. The screen pass to the wide receiver. Watch the convoy now. He's got Freilich and Hinton and big Jamie Dukes out there. The Falcons have got some beef up front as well.
We have reached the 2-minute warning at RFK Stadium. Washington leads 14-0, but the Falcons are threatening.
With its powerful 16-valve engine, double wishbone suspension system, anti-lock brakes, and a driver's side airbag, don't just think of it as a wagon. Think of it as an Accord with a bit more space.
You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD shelf system that's incredibly powerful, compact, but what's really smart is this Magnavox 8mm Easy Cam that weighs less than 2 pounds. But what's really brilliant is this 13-inch TV with a built-in VCR. But what's ingenious is this 31-inch with a smart window that lets you see other channels and swap the picture. You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD... Go away!
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
Two minutes remaining in the first half. Redskins up 14-0, but they have squandered numerous opportunities. Put yourself in Chris Miller's spot. You haven't played well. How do you get out of throwing these interceptions?
Well, fortunately, I've been in Chris Miller's spot. I've thrown a lot of interceptions. And the thing that Coryell would always tell me, Vern, is that, hey, keep throwing. We're going to throw it 30 or 40 more times. You got no choice but to get out of it yourself.
Critical possession for the Atlanta Falcons. They trail by 2 touchdowns. They do have a 1st and 10. Miller drills it. Caught. George Thomas makes the catch. That's a gain of 16.
That's a great thing about this type of offense, Vern, is that you have to throw the ball. They don't do anything else. With the personnel that they have, the strength of their team that we talked about is number 12 and the wide receivers. And with June Jones, the offensive coordinator, you really got to take your hat off to him because he's one of those guys that believed in the run and shoot along with Miles Davis up there at Portland State. Before Neil Lomax got there, June was a very successful quarterback in the run and shoot. There he is with the glasses in the middle of our screen. And with all these vacancies in the NFL, as there are for the head coaching position, here's a guy that ought to get a shot as well.
June Jones, who was in Detroit.
Somewhere, Mouse Davis is sitting there watching this game with a big smile on his face because 3 of the 8 teams in the NFL playoffs this year are running his offense, the run and shoot.
1st and 10. Falcons have 2 timeouts remaining. They trail by 14. 1:50 to go. First half. Chris Miller, by the way, is 5 of 5 on this drive. And, of course, had an interception overturned by penalty. Make it 6 of 6. Rising. It's Floyd Dixon, 86 instead of number 80. So Dixon gets the Falcons inside the 10.
That offensive line has given Miller a lot of time to throw, and he's throwing smart now. He's throwing the short passes and letting his receivers run.
Rising slot left. Miller into the end zone. Caught but out of bounds. Andre Rising.
Ball thrown just a little bit late for Rising as he caught it out of bounds. But they say that they're too legit to quit, and I think we're seeing a pretty good example of that. Miller fighting back along with his team. This team believes that no matter what the odds are, no matter what the score, is they're never out of it.
They were down by 10 in the first quarter in New Orleans last week. Chris Miller said, there will never be a place louder than the Superdome last weekend. And Miller has to call timeout.
And last week was last year, Vern.
That's right. I knew I had it right.
Miller saw the play clock run down to just 2 seconds, and they have to do so much moving in this offense that he didn't have enough time to get the playoff. Wisely used their second timeout.
What do you like now on 3rd and 2 at the 10-yard line?
Well, number one, you got to figure, will Glanville go for it on 4th down if they're not successful? Being the gambler that he is, it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't go for it on 4th down. But I'd like to see some type of draw play, maybe to the left side behind Mike Ken, to at least get them in field goal position to give Glanville that option.
Well, somehow, if they can get something on the board, Jerry Glanville's team in it. And that despite 3 turnovers, 3 pass interceptions, a lost fumble, another interception that was negated by penalty, a couple of missed field goals by Low Miller of the Redskins. And the Atlanta Falcons trying to climb back into this ball game. 3rd and 2. And the crowd noise starts to build. Johnson, 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
They hit the left side, but with a quick opener behind Duke 64 and Houston Hoover. Fine job by Fralick coming over on Marshall. That's a big gain for the Falcons. That puts them right on the doorstep.
And Washington has chosen to use one of its allotment of 3. So that stops the clock with 1:03 remaining first half. Dockers halftime report coming up at the conclusion of the first half. Greg and Terry and John Robinson back in our studio. They'll analyze the first half from their warmth and safety. And we'll have a Dallas-Detroit report for you. Richie Pettibone, defensive coordinator, Washington Redskins. 14-0.
The surprising thing for the Falcons offense, aside from how poorly they performed prior to this drive, is that on the ground they're averaging over 4 yards a carry. And Tracy Johnson has really fit in quite well at the lone running back. He's got 5 carries for 30 yards.
And had only 9 carries all season long. 1:03 to go first half. 1 timeout left. Jamie Dukes over the ball for the Falcons. side. Touchdown, Atlanta. That is Tracy Johnson's first touchdown this season. And the big play in this 11-play drive was a pass interference call against the Redskins that negated an interception.
Fine job by Pritchard there to occupy man just long enough for Johnson to stretch across the goal line. A lot of pride on that offensive line by the Falcons. You saw Hinton there and Freilich pushing their men away, allowing Johnson to get in for the score.
When they had to, they did it. 80 yards, 11 plays.
And guess who's looking at this one, Vern? The men upstairs, seeing where his knee touched in relationship to where the ball was.
Well, the play is ruled as a touchdown. It's being reviewed by instant replay.
I'd say give it to him.
I'd say give it to him, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
Cal Lepore is the replay official upstairs.
This has been such a smooth flowing ball game, and now we have this interruption on a touchdown. It really cuts into the flow of the football game.
Do you think it'll be voted back next year?
Take a look from the rear here, Vern. Watch his left knee and right knee there. But the problem with that angle is where's the ball? He didn't stretch until he was all the way down, so they might reverse this one.
Every year it seems we hear that replay will be voted out, and every year there's some arm twisting at the league owners' meetings, and it gets put back in.
Let's take a look at it and maybe stop it when his knee goes down. We'll see where the ball is. His knee is down right now, and the ball is short of the goal line. They're going to have to reverse this one.
Now let's see if they do. Yep.
Following a review by the replay official, we have a reversal. The ball will be placed on the 1-foot line.
Now we'll see just how the Falcons handle that interruption in their momentum. I don't think it'll bother them. I think they'll punch this one in.
Well, they've got exactly a minute left, and they do have one timeout left. So the ball placed on the 1-foot line. Johnson's knee ruled to a touchdown before the ball crossed the plane. Try it again. Touchdown. He went over Freilich and Hinton just as he had done before.
Exact same play. Glanville told us they only have 4 or 5 running plays in their entire offense. Watch him hit this right side. From the right side of the screen, Brad Edwards is going to come up with a big hit there. And Gavea. Edwards just a little bit late. Watch 54 and 27. But 43 in the black shirt is in across the goal line for the score.
Norm Johnson is on to try the extra point that would cut the lead in half. Scott Fulhaig will hold it. Kick is good. And somehow, when they absolutely had to, the Atlanta Falcons go 80 yards in 12 plays and slice the lead in half.
Ever wonder why your face hurts after you shave? It's simple. When you shave, you lose face because you strip away the moisture that's there to protect it, and that hurts. But now you can start saving face with new conditioning hydrogel from Allspice. Used every day, it adds moisture and keeps it there to help defend against the assault of shaving, so your face feels and stays that way. So why lose face? Use new conditioning hydrogel and start saving face.
It's getting a little nastier. 14-7. Washington leads it. Wilbur Marshall chatting with the officials during the timeout. Wishing each other Happy New Year, no doubt. The wind still gusting 30 to 39 miles an hour. And the rain has not subsided this afternoon.
That was a heck of a drive for the Falcons. They were aided, of course, by that pass interference call. But still, Chris Miller fighting back from disastrous first and second quarter, hit 6 out of 7 on that drive for 72 yards.
Tracy Johnson got it the second time after the replay officials had reversed the play. And now Norm Johnson will kick it off.
Not a lot of teams will drive 80 yards on the Redskins, and not a lot of teams can drive 80 yards against the Redskins here at RFK and in these conditions.
14-7 with 57 seconds to go in the first half of play. Very short, taken by Brian Mitchell. And hauled down by Tracy Johnson, who scored the touchdown, but because of the short kick, the ball is going to be spotted at the 36-yard line. Well, the Falcons have ducked in this duck-like weather most of the afternoon. They've had 4 turnovers, but Lohmiller has missed 2 field goals. They had 1 interception called back because of the pass interference call. And then they go 80 yards into the wind and get a touchdown just before halftime.
I'm not sure I like that call on that short kickoff here, because Lohmiller has one of the strongest legs in the NFL, although he's been wide right twice today.
52 seconds, and the Redskins have a couple of timeouts left. Rippon, screen pass, left side to Bynum, 2 men in front. McKenzie leads the way, and so does Bostic. And Bynum out of bounds to kill the clock at the 48-yard line.
Heads-up call again by Gibbs, but a real heads-up play by Bynum, getting as much as he can, using his interference, and then stepping out of bounds, saving those 2 timeouts.
First and 10. Mark Rippon, 9 of 19 for 126. Intercepted 1 time. Three-man rush, drop 8. Irvins gets by Brian Jordan, but then runs into Jesse Tuggle. And we'll see if they use a timeout now. They have done so. So 1 timeout remaining for the Washington Redskins. They have a 14-7 lead, 35 seconds to go first half. And they are at midfield. Don't forget Greg and Terry and John Robinson back in our studio at halftime. Look forward to tomorrow's game, Dallas and Detroit. What a dandy that ought to be. Of course, if the Redskins do hold on and win here, they will be at home next week. That's the reason you play all season long, to get that home field advantage. Jerry Glanville's team trying to win here for the first time in the 25-year history of the Atlanta Falcons.
Talked about how strong Lohmiller's leg is. This year he's hit a 53-yarder. His career best is a 56-yarder. But to get him comfortable around that 45-yard range, the Redskins need to move the ball about 21 more yards.
Well, he hit that 53-yarder and then came back in the same quarter to hit a 52-yarder. That was the Monday night game in Dallas. 2 of plus 50 in the same quarter for Chip Lohmiller.
Playing in good weather on AstroTurf, a little different than what he's facing today.
I don't think Tom Dempsey's record is in jeopardy today. That's 63 yards years ago, when both Dan and I were young. Irvins. Oh, boy! First down at the 37. And it looks like Lohmiller will get a chance.
Now Rippon should kill this clock right now and get another play.
Nope. Clark. Deion Sanders, fine defensive job.
That play there may have saved the Falcons 3 points. Watch this job of Sanders coming over with the finesse move of the left hand, just knocking the ball away at the last moment. That's why he's all pro. Just deflected it enough to keep Clark from making the grab.
With 12 seconds left, the officials have stopped play for the moment. They've got a problem with the chain on the far side. Got a knot in the chain. Hate when that happens.
The Gremlins are down there playing with the chain.
You got wind and rain and knot in your chain. Not a pleasant triumvirate. Second down. 12 seconds to go. Rippon, Irvins. 5 seconds remaining, and Lohmiller will come on. Tackle is made by Brian Jordan. Clock is stopped. Final timeout. 5 seconds to go. And Chip Lohmiller, who is 0 of 2 today.
Talk about Gary Clark's ability to catch the ball over the middle, but this is why he is regarded as the toughest receiver in football. Watch after the catch by Irvins. Clark goes in and makes a key block on Tuggle, and that gives Irvins a hole to get down the field 5 more yards. That could mean the world of difference for Lohmiller right now.
44 yards will be the attempt. And now there's another stoppage of play. I think they're going to dry the ball off or get a new one. Not surprising Glanville didn't care for that act of kindness and human charity.
He will have his say in this forum or any others.
44 yards. Nope. 0 for 3. The Falcons are going to go in and listen to some hammer music. They're in it.
They're going to turn it up.
It's 14-7. The Redskins at halftime. That's the end of the first half with our score 14-7 Washington.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football Conference Divisional Playoff is sponsored by Honda. Test drive a Honda at your local dealer today. Magnavox, the ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart. And by Coors Light, the Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
On a cold Minnesota Sunday in January, you're invited to a red-hot game, the Super Bowl. And the official Super Bowl 26 program captures all the excitement of this great event with over 260 pages of features, photos, and a special football card insert. All for only $9.95 plus shipping. Call 1-800-SUPER-BOWL to order your official program now and reserve the hottest souvenir from America's biggest game.
I'm Darryl Green of the Washington Redskins, and this is my daughter, Jarrell. I know that every child needs love, a sense of security, especially children who have emotional and physical handicaps. That's why the work of the School for Contemporary Education is so important. As a United Way volunteer, I work with children of all ages to help them learn, to teach them to love one another. When we give our love to them, that love comes back manyfold in many ways. Because the United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
Phillips Brothers Supply. Tools are our business, and nobody does it better. We're the pros. Come see us for the tools you need to get the job done right. Need repair? PBS does it all. We're in business to service your every need, from the small jobs to the big ones with the technology of the 90s. On the road, on the job site, at your plant. We're in business to keep you in business. Phillips Brothers Supply, 2525 Kensington Avenue, Amherst.
It was a time to crown new champions, to applaud those who rose above the crowd. It was a year to remember.
The Minnesota Twins are baseball's world champions.
Call this toll-free number now and relive the excitement of 1991 all in one amazing video, The Year in Sports. It's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated, the best way to capture all the drama of sports. In your free video, you'll see the finest take their best shots.
Another left hook.
Call now and get your free video. And you'll get SI's 92 Sports Almanac free. It's filled with fascinating facts, stats, and photos, and it's free. Call now to subscribe or renew. Get your free video and almanac plus 30 issues of SI, including the swimsuit issue, for only $1.49 an issue. Save 50% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Your free video gives you all the thrills of the past year, and you won't miss the excitement yet to come in Sports Illustrated. Call now.
The NFL Today Dockers Halftime Report is sponsored by Levi's Dockers. Relax, you're among friends.
Welcome back, everyone. Greg Gumbel, Terry Bradshaw, former Rams head coach John Robinson. Our halftime score, 14-7 Redskins. Now, the first time these teams met earlier this year, Washington held a 28-3 halftime lead. Atlanta turned the ball over 6 times in that game. They've turned the ball over 4 times, yet only trailed by a touchdown. One of those turnovers Washington used to score their second touchdown on a drive that you were very impressed with.
Well, I think they did a great job of taking the initiative away from the Atlanta defensive plan. They didn't huddle on second down, forced Atlanta to stay in with basically a 3-4 defense, and were able to do about what they wanted. That is not the aggressive Atlanta defense that we're used to seeing. Now, the Redskins have muffed 3 chances to put the game, to be really in control, and I'm sure that's a concern for them. But they did initially a good job of negating what I think a lot of people thought would be an advantage that Atlanta might have.
Chip Lowe-Miller has missed 3 field goals, and yet it's amazing that Chris Miller and the Falcons are within a touchdown.
Well, they can thank Lowe-Miller for that, the fact that he's missed those field goals. And Miller kind of found his confidence, hit, 6 or 7 for 72 yards on that last drive. They're back in the ball game. I really think, though, if you get to what's going to be critical in the second half, I'm going to go back to the punter and the kickers, because I think footing is going to be horrible. We've seen Lowe-Miller miss 3, and I got to believe he's thinking about that plant foot. If it slides the least little bit forward, Greg, the ball automatically is pushed to the right. So I think in the second half, it's going to be worse than the first half.
In the second half, John, because the Falcons are so close, do you give them a little edge in momentum?
No, I don't. But if they come out and make something happen, then they get the edge. The Redskins, I think, have to go in and say, hey, we're ahead by 7. This is good. Not saying, oh, we missed 3 field goals. This is bad. Because, Atlanta's playing the radios and the stereos and saying, we got them now. But the Redskins have to be careful that they're saying, things are going good for us. Let's just keep it going and not say, oh, my gosh, we're letting it slip away.
All right, John, Terry. Now, the winner of today's Falcons-Redskins game goes on to the NFC Divisional Championship next weekend to face the winner of tomorrow's Dallas-Detroit matchup. Pat Summerall and John Madden are at the Silverdome with a look ahead at the Cowboys and the Lions.
The parking lot's empty here at the Silverdome, and so is the dome itself, the home of the Detroit Lions. Earlier today, they had their last workout before their first playoff game ever here in this building. And this is a place that's been kind to the Detroit Lions, John.
Well, it's a place that I think the Lions use. They've played here all season. They haven't lost a game here. I think that the Lions use that. They're a very emotional team. I think they use the crowd. They like the crowd. They like the excitement that this place is going to bring to them tomorrow. And, when you talk about the Detroit Lions offensively, you think of Barry Sanders. But I'll tell you a guy that has to have a big game tomorrow. That's their quarterback, Eric Kramer.
What about the Cowboys? They get here later today, and what about their physical condition and their state of mind?
They're in good shape. I think we talk about Detroit. They're probably the most emotional team right now in the playoffs. I think the hottest team right now in the playoffs are the Dallas Cowboys. How do you defend them? You got Berline, he's starting quarterback. He's doing a very good job. You have Emmitt Smith, the leading rusher in football. You have Michael Irvin, the leading receiver in football. I'll tell you, that puts a lot of pressure on Detroit's defense.
We look forward to it. That's the story from here in Pontiac.
Pat and John, thanks very much. 14-7, Redskins lead Atlanta. We'll send you back to Vern and Dan at RFK Stadium after this word from your local station.
I'm Nancy Glass, here to expose a shocking story. Men who have secretly watched CBS Monday Night Comedies instead of football.
The guys were talking about Tom Brown's touchdown, and I slipped and called him Murphy. I laughed it off, but I think they knew.
Men, the football season is over. The secret is out.
His brother lies in a coma for which he blames himself.
Well, he's going to get better.
Can a family conquer the odds when they're miles from nowhere? Tuesday.
This is CBS.
$89. You don't have to be a millionaire to travel like one. Call this number to join Home Shopping Travel Club. It's how the smart shopper travels.
More red hot values, cool prices, big brand names here on Home Shopping Spree.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to show you a very special piece of jewelry. Now, emeralds are one of the rarest gemstones in the world. Almost all of them come from South America, Brazil especially. Well, in the past couple of years, the source has not been that, that forthcoming with emeralds, particularly of the high quality. They're getting even more scarce. Well, the popularity has never been higher. Well, that means for dramatic increases in prices, and that's what has generally happened the last couple of years in emeralds. But Home Shopping has hooked up with some very special sources to bring you excellent prices on emeralds. Take a look at this awesome heart pendant that you will get at a phenomenal price. Look at the clarity. Look at the quality of those emeralds. Most emeralds that you find on the market at any kind of a reasonable price are cloudy, and they've got black marks or inclusions. They just are not pretty. They're not clear and vibrant like these fantastic emeralds. Look at them. Almost a full carat. We're talking about a $230 value. Originally priced on Home Shopping at exactly $115. We sold them for a long, long time at $150, and a lot of them, well, we got in a few more at a great price. A great, great price. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? We're dropping the price. Birthstone of the month of May, one of the rarest gemstones in the world. We'll do it today for an awesome discount. Not bad. Down, forget about $115. That was our original price. We're chopping it on a red tag special. Down to only $99.75. That's right. $99.75 on a red tag special. It's an incredible value at that kind of a deal. Call us right now, ladies and gentlemen, to get it. 14 karat gold all the way around, the nice bail, the nice clasp, the nice loop at the top, everything. It is a nice size pendant at about an inch long, 5/8 of an inch wide. Perfect gift. Comes in a nice gift box. Oh my goodness, almost a full carat of genuine emeralds. 18 round cut, fantastic emeralds. Oh, that is so luscious. The brilliant green. The gorgeous, very rare gemstones. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, get to the telephone right now. Get to the telephone right now in order to pick this up. Outstanding value here today. Gift box ready to go. Good size bail over the top for your favorite neck chain. Double loops to keep it facing forward so it doesn't spin and turn around. It was once $115, but today it's only $99.75 on a red tag special offer right now. Good savings. Race to the telephone to get this. Ultra high quality gemstones here. I mean it. Take a look at the quality of those fabulous emeralds. They're so brilliant and bright green. The clarity lets the light in, sparkles around, comes back out bright green. Awesome buy today at under $100. Hurry to the telephone, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get you in on it. What a magnificent value. Isn't that something? Come and get it. Under $100 for genuine, almost a carat of genuine emeralds. That's tough to find these days. Very tough to find. Oof, don't miss out. 1-800-284-3400. Outstanding value here today. Only $99.75. Don't miss it, ladies and gentlemen. It is hot stuff. It's solid 14 karat, good size pendant. So rich, so elegant, and so rare out there in the stores anywhere else. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to just 2 minutes left. If you're not on the phone line right now for it, I'm afraid you're going to miss out. That is our best deal at $99.75. Let me show you a gorgeous gold neck chain with a final couple of minutes of this hour. Take a look at 14 karat gold. I've got an 18-inch beautiful herringbone neck chain. You know that bracelet we had at the top of the show? This goes with it beautifully. We'll offer it at $251.50 value. Well, how about $125? That's fair. $125 is half off. That would be very fair price, right? For an 18-inch long beveled edge herringbone reversible design. That's right, one side's the herringbone, the other side the diamond cut version. Well, we're not going to do it at $125 or even $100 or even $85. We're going to do it at $84.75 right now. Just $84.75. Ooh, look at that sharp design on there. That looks good. Mighty good-looking piece of gold. And there's the reversible side. Check that out, huh? Very, very attractive design in gold. You only have about a minute to look at it, but a lifetime to love it. You will have a couple of minutes to call in and order it during our commercial break, which is coming up in just moments. So pick up the phone, dial us up, and in fact, we'll let you get that Emerald Heart pendant during the break too. I believe they'll place take your orders on it. But time to get the gold necklace while we're away at our station identification break. Coming up next hour, that sapphire and diamond starburst ring at a price you won't believe. Now, keep calling in for this gold neck chain for the next, it's about 2-3 minutes long. You'll be able to continue to order this beautiful piece of gold. Jot down the phone number if you don't know it, 1-800-284-3400. Yeah, keep on calling in if you can. Oh, yeah, a lot more coming up after this timeout. See you then, okay?
The Last Chance Special is coming your way, and it's loaded with special savings on brand name merchandise of every description. But you'll have to be ready to dial mighty quick, because Last Chance Specials will only be on your screen for a short time, and if you hesitate, you'll miss out on a great bargain. So watch for Last Chance Specials featured throughout the day, and save all this week. Watching the Home Shopping Spree, where every buy's a bargain.
Imagine cruising to exciting ports, enjoying fun-filled days and relaxing nights, all for a price you can afford. Home Shopping Travel Club makes your dream vacations possible by offering unheard-of discounts on the most popular cruise lines. And as a Home Shopping Travel Club member, you'll always be among the first to hear of special travel opportunities like this. For a very limited time, Costa Cruise Lines is offering a spectacular price on a 7-day Caribbean cruise aboard the Costa Riviera for only $7.75 per person. You'll set sail from Fort Lauderdale in a deluxe outside stateroom for two, saving up to $1,870 per couple on your accommodations. Imagine visiting beautiful tropical ports aboard one of the world's great cruise ships at this incredible low price. But hurry, the ship sails August 10th, 17th, and 24th. Space is limited. Join Home Shopping Travel Club today and save an additional $25 on your reservations. Don't miss your chance to take advantage of these incredible savings. Call now.
Right after this. Oh, hi. You know, you shop with Home Shopping Club because of the great savings every day. So we've teamed up with MCI to offer you even more savings. You gotta watch this.
You know, country folk, we all have big families and we all love to talk. Us Winnettes found a way to gab without risking the farm. We each joined MCI's friends and family. When I call Uncle Gerald or anyone else on my list, or when they call me, we save an extra 20%. An extra 20% off MCI's rates that are already low. Now, all I've got to do is get MCI to take Confederate money.
MCI saves you money month after month, just like Home Shopping Club. Satisfaction guaranteed. And I guarantee you're going to like this offer. Sign up with MCI now. In addition to long-distance savings, MCI will give you 1 hour of free long-distance calling and a free calling card. Plus, Home Shopping Club will give you $10 spendable cash. It's so easy to save. Call now. 1-800-766-CALL.
From your 24-hour news station, this is a Channel 2 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Phil Tronalone. It is noon in Beirut, and one of 2 American hostages held by the Revolutionary Justice Organization is expected to be released at any moment. The organization is believed to be holding Joseph Scipio and Edward Austin Tracy. The time for that planned release was reportedly moved up with word the Israelis are willing to trade Arab prisoners for other hostages under certain conditions. We'll keep you posted. Next news at 6 from Channel 2 News, your 24-hour news station.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Home Shopping Spree. My name's Jeff Scheimer. Let's go shopping. I have some great deals coming.